robbed after cashing a settlement check and then going to buy a truck. Check it out.
A wild burglary and chase in Glendale ends with 2 men in custody and thousands of dollars of cash strewn all over the street.
And it's all caught on camera. Fox 10's Mark Martinez breaks it down.
Glendale police dubbed it the Italian job.
There's money all over the street. We were making a right-hand turn. We see the fighting. Came up to a car accident and then fighting. The guy was, and I was like, "You guys need to separate." And he's like, "He stole $50,000 from me."
Surveillance cameras captured the moment two suspects swiped $50,000 from a man's car.
And when we got off to get the truck, we had the money in the car. And me, like an idiot, I didn't lock the car. She's like, "Hey, dude, that car took off with something. He stole something out of your car," he said. And he left.
On November 7th, the victim had just cashed a settlement check from the bank, then drove to a home near 83rd Avenue and Northern to purchase a truck.
So you went to some location to buy a truck, had money in the car, okay, and then what happened?
And then we got off to see the truck with the owner of the truck. He got there.
Which was not him.
Which was not him.
Okay.
And we got in the car and we started chasing this guy. And this dude was hauling until he crashed right here.
The victim and his son jumped back in their car, calling 911 as they chased after the suspects. Real-time crime center traffic cameras captured the suspects crash into another vehicle after running a red light at 67th Avenue and Olive.
And then he got out of the car and ran. I was following him with that bag. And I was running after him. And then, like I said, I lost him from the front of this complex to over here. And then I seen him. He's like, "Oh, I'll wait for the cops. I'll wait for the cops." I didn't do nothing.
Glendale police arrived and arrested Raymond Pouncey and Reginald Chapman.
Usual suspects, Raymond and Reginald. Now, Reginald was hit. Raymond is still running because his friend is in the car all jacked up. I'm sure that they didn't have a seatbelt on. Maybe Raymond had a seatbelt on. I don't know. But high-speed chase, he goes and cashes a $50,000 settlement check. Now, let's be very, very clear, all right? You don't walk around with $50,000 unless you got security with you. There's very few reasons for somebody to walk around with $50,000, okay? The second thing is, this has to be an inside job. How did they just so happen to know that this guy has $50,000? So either one or two things happened. Either A, he was running his mouth too much, and then word got around, and then when he went and go cash that settlement check, actually one of three things. Or number two, whoever it was that was selling the car to him, he told them that he would be carrying cash, and so they gave him the drop. Or number three, whoever it was that was cashing a check inside of the bank sent word out and said, "Hey, this guy's walking around with $50,000. It's got to be an inside job. Nobody just runs and steals $50,000. But apparently he got his money back, and now these dudes is probably going to go to jail for the next 20 years as a result of all of this stuff. But somebody somewhere actually told, or somebody somewhere is given an inside job or information. And another thing, why would you purchase a car with $50,000 in cash? The car probably didn't even cost that much. They used to not having money, so they're walking around with all of these bags and all of this money, and now they had to go and steal and run for their life because it is what it is. So be very careful out here, y'all. It's some unscrupulous actors, and they're participating in very bad behavior, and it could cost you your life. Thankfully, nobody had a gun, and they wasn't able to get away with it. So money's thrown everywhere, people getting caught up. It's stupid. Next, people in Chicago decided that they wanted to reject the $300 million property tax hike, and the alderman, because people like the women that are coming on my show, said, "Hey, we're going to hold these people accountable, and we're going to get them up out of here if they can continue to do what they're doing." Check it out.
Developing tonight, a $300 million hole in Mayor Brandon Johnson's budget proposal after a unanimous vote by the city council today.
How to close it or fill it is what he and the council will work on next. WGN's Dana Rebick joins us live tonight from City Hall. Dana.
Well, this was a very clear message sent from alders when this vote took place, a historic vote that many alders say they have never seen before. There was no debate on the council floor, just this unanimous call to reject it.
There are 0 nays, 50 nays. This matter has been voted down.
I see people say, "Oh, he had $50,000 because he was going to buy a truck." You should never have to carry cash. You can get a cashier's check. If you are buying it from a dealer, usually you can finance it. and then you can pay it off within the first 1 or 2 payments. That way you don't have to pay any interest on it. You never have to carry that type of money. The only time that you have to carry that type of money is either you showing off or you are going to the casino. And even when you go into the casino, if you were going to one that you're familiar with, and they'll give you a line of credit because they've already vetted you, they've already checked your bank account, and so you can just, hey, listen, give me 50, give me $100,000 or whatever, and then they'll, over time or whatever, after a month or two, then you just pay it back and all of that other type of stuff. So if you got that type of money to gamble with, then you got a line anyway. So it's really no point in this earth. Even when I buy my cars, I'll go finance it or I'll wire it, and then we'll pay it off after the first payment. And that's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for y'all to be walking around. I can't think of any logical reason for somebody to be walking around with $50,000 at all.
A stunning shutout of Mayor Brandon Johnson's property tax increase proposal.
This is a healthy process. This is something that my administration can handle. I'm not intimidated by voices from individuals who are city leaders in their own respect.
It's a devastating loss for Mayor Johnson. I've been here, going on 17 years. I've never seen this kind of vote take place. And I think in many of our lifetimes, we've never seen this.
I won't characterize what anyone does as a mistake. It's a representation of what the executive branch believes is best for the city of Chicago.
The $300 million 4% property tax increase would have helped fill a nearly $1 billion gap in the mayor's $17.3 billion budget for next year. Mayor Johnson has said the increase was necessary to avoid layoffs, program cuts, and furloughs. Now it's back to the drawing board with the clock ticking to pass a budget before the end of the year.
This budget was presented late. All we get is kind of a big book of line items. We have an Office of Financial Analysis that has 2 people.
For the most part, there was no collaboration on his part, and we got to this point because of that lack of collaboration. So, again, in all my years I've worked, this is the 4th mayor. This is the first time I've seen that lack of collaboration, and this is why you get a 50-0 vote.
I am collaborating with people.
Right after the alderman said, hey, man, we work with 4 mayors. We've never, ever seen anybody that operate like this before in our lives. We don't know where the collaboration is because he's not actually working with us to understand and make sure that we can pass a budget. But he presented this to us at the last minute, hoping that we could just get it through. And then right after that, Mayor Johnson says, we are collaborating with people. He looked like a fool to me. He looked like a straight up fool.
We're going to talk to every single alder because it's going to take all of us.
This past weekend, nearly half the council met with the mayor's budget team to negotiate. As far as other revenue options, we're told those could include raising the garbage collection fee, the amusement tax, and increasing taxes on cigarettes, parking, and liquor. Also on the table, using remaining federal COVID relief funds or a potential lower
using COVID funds to plug the budget deficit.
Property tax increase.
Whether it's a property tax or any other tax, people will be impacted.
Chicago is in shambles, y'all, and y'all got people that don't know what they're doing that's continuing to run the city, but I guarantee you I'm going to stay on top of it. And then last but not least, Hollywood former star Eval Longoria is saying that she's completely left the United States of America as a result of Trump's win. Check it out.
Now, very quickly, there were a flurry of celebrities promising to leave the US if Trump was voted back in. And while many have walked that back, some have made good on the promise. And one of those is actress Eval Longoria, who's left LA to split her time between Mexico and Spain. Kosha, do you think we're going to see more of these evacuations, or was this just talk for most of them?
I think it's talk. I've been hearing it for years and years in the Bush era and the Romney and McCain and everybody, even people far more muted than Trump. They always say that, but then, their mansions in Malibu seem to always call for them and they don't follow through. Eval Longoria, I guess, is a little bit of an exception here and, good for her. She's somebody who has that privilege that she can have properties and, set up a life in different countries at the snap of her fingers. Most people aren't so lucky.
The word on the street is that she was already living in Mexico because it's a cheaper form of living, and that she had already left. But my thing is, I'm cool with people leaving. like, don't do us no favors. The thing that I'm always asking myself is, why are y'all announcing it and why are you not just doing it? Why are you announcing it and why are you not just doing it? Thank God. Go back to your country. Go back to your country. I see all of these black people on a regular basis always complaining about Trump. Oh my God, I can't take the United States of America. We need to leave this country. Africa is wide open. Mexico, Africa, you can go to Haiti, Cuba. I don't know if you can get in Cuba, but you can go to Cuba. Venezuela is accepting new applications for people to come there. Guatemala, you can go there. I'm trying to figure out what's slowing people from leaving the United States of America. I'm gonna have to address that in a completely different video. What is slowing y'all down? For all of the people that's complaining on the internet, all right? For all of the people that's complaining on the internet, what's preventing you from getting there?